Coach, if we don't get that and we end up with these mega conferences, which looks like we're heading in that direction, what's going to happen to the middle of the pack, to the lower tier? Because you mentioned the group of five can't compete. Well, you know very well there are a lot of schools in major conferences that struggle to compete now, and you add Texas and Oklahoma or someone else, it's going to be even harder, is it not?
Absolutely, Paul. And I worry about that for our game and those universities. When we were looking hard at the Pac-12, they were talking about Texas and Texas Tech, and they were talking about Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. And then I talked to some of the other coaches at some of the other schools and said, what they were all saying, what'll happen to us? And they all felt like they would be group of five. And there would just be more conferences, and they wouldn't be playing at the same level that we're playing now. So I think we've got great fans that watch your show. I think for those fans out there, I think we will see some schools that just can't have enough money, enough facilities, enough commitment, sell enough tickets, be attractive enough for the TV contracts that they will lose who they are and drop down another level.
Finally, Coach, I do want to get your thoughts. We are now almost 2 months into NIL. How do you think it's going?
Paul, it's going okay on our team. The question will be, to me, is recruiting. They say that you can't use recruiting for NIL. That gets really confusing. There are no guidelines. But for our team, we've got group licensing. Sam Howell's going to make more money than the rest of them, and they all understand that. I have told them it's more about your ball than your branding, because if you ain't playing good ball, brother, you ain't going to get branded, and they're not going to pay you. So they're going to be paying the guys that play good. So just understand that. That's facts. And I've also told them that 90+% of you are going to make your money on the back end with your degree. So work hard in school. Work hard to get relationships with alums that will help hire you when you get out. But I think we're seeing, Paul, it's settling down because the kids are realizing everybody may get some money with group licensing. Some guys may get a deal or two to make a little money. Nobody's going to make a living outside of those 2-3 guys on your team that are the high-profile guys that everybody wants representing their business.
I said final question, but let me just follow that up with the final question, because you mentioned recruiting, and 2 months ago, or a month ago, I should say, Nick Saban came out at the Texas High School Coaches Association and talked about how his quarterback was nearing $1 million a year, 7 figures. Clearly, that helps in recruiting. What are your biggest concerns about how that part of it is being used?
Paul, we all have to figure out what that means. Our quarterbacks go make a lot of money. Our quarterbacks being mentioned for the Heisman, our quarterbacks the preseason player of the year in the ACC. So when you start looking at it, everybody's going to start looking at their brand, but the market value's better off in those in recruiting than it is afterwards, because they've got more people trying to get them. And when you get on your campus, then you've got to have those relationships and move forward. People have worried about what happens in the locker room. I don't see that being a problem. Everybody on our team knows the right guard's not going to make as much money as Sam Howell. Those are facts. That's pretty clear. But in recruiting, I think we've all got to figure out exactly what that means. And universities across the country are trying to figure it out. You want to be competitive, but you've still got to play within the rules. And that's something that everybody's got their compliance teams looking at very closely. Thank goodness that a lot of the high school guys can't make any money till their eligibility's up. So it gives us all a little bit more time to figure it out between now and signing date. But that day is going to be coming where you have to separate what is recruiting inducements as compared to what name, image, and likeness is. And I honestly can't answer that. And I don't think compliance people across the country can answer it yet. So we're all looking for that answer. We understand what happens to our team. We got it in the locker room. I think that's all settled and we're good. But still, there's a lot of questions to be answered in recruiting.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.